This video is to help you make sure you install your wheel correctly on your dirt bike. A lot of people have problems with this, causing the fork to bind and provide a harsh suspension action. So we are going to go through the steps that we can take to avoid that and make your bike ride and handle much smoother. So stay with us. All you need are basic tools. These are the tools that I'm going to be using today. Each bike will be a little bit different, but the necessities that you need are waterproof grease, a torque wrench, and the appropriate size wrenches or ratchets for your bike. So first off, we'll start here by taking off the front wheel. This is something that is pretty straightforward. Loosen your lug bolts and your axle nut and remove the front wheel. A lot of times this is necessary when you're installing a new tire, or if you've had a little bit of a crash and you've bent the suspension, you've tweaked the steering in the front end, and you're having that harsh suspension action, you're trying to get rid of that. So if that's the case, or if you're servicing your tire or your brakes or your forks, you're going to need to make sure you install your front wheel the correct way. So go ahead and remove your front wheel and set it out of the way until you're ready to reinstall it. Now is the time where you're going to want to straighten your suspension if it is twisted by loosening your triple clamp bolts, both the lower bolts here and the upper bolts, and then make sure your forks are straight and aligned properly with the top of your triple clamp. Okay, so here we are to the important part. As you get ready to reinstall your front wheel after servicing your bike, you want to clean your front axle, removing it of all dirt and debris, and give it a thin coating of waterproof grease. This will allow for easier installation and also to make sure that your suspension does not bind again as you tighten everything down. Set your axle aside and position your wheel between the two front fork stanchions, making sure your brake rotor slides carefully between the two brake pads of your caliper. Now slide your axle in. Notice how that grease makes that nice and easy, and install your axle nut. We're going to go ahead and torque this. On this particular Yamaha, the torque is 105 Newton meters. You'll notice that I start by turning the axle and then finish off by tightening the nut. This helps to reduce any kind of binding that would happen in that axle. Okay, this is the tricky part. You can take your bike off the stand to do this, or as you can see, you can do a little bit of an acrobatic feat like I'm doing here. You want to cycle your suspension through the travel a few times with the lug bolts loose. Now we are tightening the lug bolts to the appropriate torque. In this case, it is 23 Newton meters, and that should do it for you.